Hi, okay, this is a little video for Stockport Sling Library, and today we're going to be talking about ring slings. First of all, I just want to show you how to thread a ring sling, so this is ready for use. This one has been made from a woven wrap. This particular one is a girasol woven wrap. These are fabulous as ring slings because of the type of material that they are. They have a really good diagonal stretch to them, and it's also been made with two solid continuous metal rings, and this particular shoulder is called a gathered shoulder. So as you can see, it just has a stitching, two rows of stitching along here, and it just goes around the rings, and this means that it spreads nicely across your shoulder. Okay, so to start with, you're going to put it over your shoulder. Now with a ring sling, we want the rings to be sitting around here once you've got baby in. They do tend to slide down, but this position, so just under where your shoulder is, sitting kind of just there, is about right. Spread the material out across your back and bring it round under your arm. Okay, now you can just gather the material up. So if you just gather it up from the end, like so, till you have it all gathered. And what we're going to do is put the whole thing through both the rings and just pull the material through. Okay, like so. And then, keeping them gathered, you'll open both the rings up and then slide them back down through that bottom ring. And you've now threaded your ring sling. Now, we're just going to have a little bit of preparation before we put baby in, because this will make the tightening process a lot easier. So, once you've got it in, put your thumbs inside and just spread the material really out across the rings. Spending this little bit of time now will really help you once you've got baby in. So what you're aiming for is to have the rails. Now with woven wraps and ring slings, we talk about rails. So this will be your top rail, and this down here will be your bottom rail. So what we want to do is make sure that both of these rails are spread out across the rings. So fan it out and make sure it's nice and straight, and that each edge, top rail and bottom rail, is straight in the rings. Pull it back down again so that it's nice and straight. If anything gets twisted, just make sure it sits nice and flatly. There, you can see now. So now what will happen is when I pull this, you can see here, when I pull this top rail, this bit will tighten. And when I pull this down here, this rail will tighten. And then equally, what we call strand by strand tightening will go through each section of material, like so, will tighten across the material. So what we usually want before we start is a sort of pocket that the baby's going to be in, which is sitting roughly around where your hip is. So just get it nice and sitting, the ring sitting nice and high. Now you just want enough space to get the baby in. You don't need masses and masses of space, because that just means you need to tighten it more and more, and then it will end up twisting and the rings will end up sliding down. So the tighter you have it and enough space just to get baby in before you get a start is really good. Particularly this bottom rail, you can have that quite snug. So if we just tighten this edge here, like so, just to make sure that's nice and snug down there, and then have a bit more space at the top here, as we can tighten that as we go. And that is your preparation for putting baby into a ring sling. Watch the next video of how to actually put baby in. Thank you.